If you like to talk about combat sports and you want to join the discussion, click the subscribe button below and the bell notification icon next to it and join Knucklehead Nation. What's going on, Knuckleheads? It just went down. Welcome to the post-fight show. Deontay Wilder versus Luis Ortiz 2. This is the post-fight show, the reaction, the discussion live. Thank you guys so much for joining the chat. And I must say I am incredibly bothered. Before we get to the result, I am incredibly bothered by the stark and utter bias exhibited against Luis Ortiz by the broadcasters throughout the entirety of this 7-round affair, or 8 rounds, or whatever it lasted. I believe it was in the 7th round that the fight was ended by a massive Deontay Wilder right hand. But it was just unbelievable, and that Larry Hazard guy who somehow had the fight in favor of Deontay Wilder after 4 rounds after 3 rounds when they showed his scorecard, that guy should never be allowed on television again. These broadcasters are an absolute disgrace. They literally said Deontay fought a smart fight. Sure, he was losing those rounds and giving away a lot of those rounds, but he fought a smart fight. That is the most stupid, ridiculous, biased bullshit that I've ever heard in my entire life. In my entire life as a boxing fan. Deontay Wilder, up until that point, and I mark him as my favorite heavyweight and the best heavyweight in the division right now. But Deontay Wilder, up until that finish, was getting absolutely shut out on my scorecard. It was extremely hard for me to find a single round that I could clearly give to Deontay Wilder on that scorecard. Now, if you said you were giving Deontay Wilder 1 or 2 rounds by the hair on his chin, then maybe we can let that slide. But honestly, I did not see a single round in that 7-round affair where Deontay Wilder was winning the round. Not a single one until he landed that finishing right hand. That commentary, again, was just the most disgusting, biased commentary I've ever seen since the Tony Harrison versus Jermell Charlo fight. Just absolutely embarrassing. And if that fight would have kept on that trajectory that it was on and gone to a decision, Ortiz would have probably been screwed out of a decision. But lucky for Deontay Wilder, he has absolute fucking Thanos snap infinity stones in that right hand. And if he lands that right hand on you, you are fucking dead. Listen, Luis Ortiz was, looked like he was entering a different dimension when that right hand landed. But to act like this was a strategic, planned out result for Deontay Wilder, not landing a single fucking right hand throughout the whole fight until he landed that finishing right hand, to act like that was planned is just such a ridiculous insult to our intelligence as fight fans that I don't even know what to say about it anymore. I mean, they need to just fire the entire fucking staff over there and get some people on show that know what the fuck they're talking about. This is the Fighter's Rep. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, the bell notification icon. Support with some super chat donations. Get your Fighter's Rep gear below. We're not just a channel that talks about combat sports. We're the only kickboxing promotion in the entire state, of California. So let's head on over to the chat here. Let's see what's going on. We had Calculated Risk in here. Salute to you, brother. He says, I'm not surprised at all. I predicted 4th round KO, but it went a little bit to round number 7. And you know what, guys? I predicted that this fight would end before the 6th round. I was wrong. But I didn't think Deontay Wilder was going to get dominated the way he was dominated throughout the beginning of that fight. I expected more from Deontay Wilder, and to be honest with you, I was extremely worried. I was extremely worried about Deontay Wilder up until that last punch landed. That was not good for Deontay Wilder. Let's hear. John Wick says, great fight. Suleiman says, man, every time I watch Wilder fight, I get surprised by how little improvements he made since his last fight. Deontay Wilder looked worse in this fight than he did in the first Ortiz fight. 100%. Calculated risk. Ortiz too old. He didn't have power. I don't know about that. I just think he didn't have the legs to stay up to Deontay Wilder. Suleiman says, I was thinking KO before the 6th round. Ortiz did a decent job. A decent job. Ortiz outboxed Wilder in this fight and shut him out, in my opinion, on my scorecards. If you disagree, please indicate to me how you had Wilder winning a single round before that knockout. Calculated risk, yes he did, but there's no power there. Suleiman says, I honestly think Otto Wallin would have had a better chance than the 40-year-old Ortiz. 40 in quotes, because we all know the guy's like getting, discounted meals at Denny's and IHOP on the 55-plus menu. Calculated risk says Arslan Bekmambetov would sleep Wilder with those Ortiz punches. Suleiman says, should have been Chisora or Dillian White in there tonight. I would have loved to see either of those guys in there. I do think if Wilder lands on those guys, it's trouble for those guys. Biggest right hand in the game, but my goodness, was he being absolutely worked in there until that right hand landed. And he's so vulnerable. These heavyweights, man, they're a mess. They're just an absolute mess. Suleiman, if Wilder did this against Chisora, I would have genuinely been impressed. All right. John Wick says, man, that right hand is dynamite. Absolutely. Absolutely. John Wick says, I agree, George. You damn right you agree. You damn right, because Luis Ortiz was getting all in that ass. Luis Ortiz was alien probing that ass before that right hand landed and took his fucking soul to another dimension. In that ass. D-Boy65, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, brother, and the bell notification icon. Thank you for being in the super chat. He says Wilder was getting outboxed. Hell yes, he was getting outboxed. David Rivera, one of my favorite young fighters, Fights for Fighters rep. I got a fight for you, so prepare yourself to get offered a fight soon. David Rivera says Ortiz was clearly winning that fight. Agreed they were not giving this man his respect, his respect. I agree 100%. He was getting no respect tonight. That was disgusting what those broadcasters were doing. And Marco Martinez says, I agree that Larry Hazard was trash, but throughout the fight, the announcers didn't seem too biased. But that said, you're right about everything they said after the fight. Throughout the fight, these guys were 100% biased. 100%. They were saying Deontay won the round when he wasn't doing shit. Luis Ortiz would land a combo and Deontay Wilder would land a punch that would get blocked, and they would mention Wilder's punch and totally ignore Ortiz's punches. So I'm going to have to disagree with you strongly and ask that you go back and watch that fight, listen to that commentary. It was disgusting. John Wick saying, I was really disappointed he was getting outboxed. You think? You think he was just getting outboxed? That guy was getting worked. Deontay Wilder, ladies and gentlemen, this evening was getting worked before that fight, before that punch landed. He was getting absolutely worked. There's not one round on that fucking fight where you can tell me Deontay Wilder won that round clearly. Not one. Not one. D-Boy says, imagine if Wilder had Tyson Fury power. He'd be 0-45. Marco Martinez says, I've said it time and again, these commentary teams are all trash post-HBO. Terrifying. It was terrifying, man. It was terrifying. John Wick says, meant I was disappointed with the announcers. They was shit. Ortiz would have won, I think, but his hand, dynamite. Water hand is dynamite, what I meant. Absolutely. Ortiz would have walked away with that fight on my scorecard, likely with a shutout, had Wilder not had that dynamite in his right hand. And all credit to Wilder for having that knockout punch and finishing the fight. But man, this is why I'm so uncomfortable with Wilder. I still got him as my best heavyweight. Okay? I really do. But he makes me extremely uncomfortable because almost every time he gets in there, he's getting outboxed until he lands that big punch. And that's extremely problematic. At some point, somebody's going to block that right hand. It's not going to connect for the entirety of the fight, and he's going to lose. He should have lost that Tyson Fury decision. He got a gift that night. Tonight, he earned that knockout, but man, had that right hand not landed and finished Ortiz, let me tell you, he was getting shut out. David Rivera. No comment, David Rivera. John Wick. Angry George smashed Rob. Man, John Wick says he needs a new trainer. I don't know what he needs to do, man. He needs to do something. They were all night focusing on his amazing left hook. This amazing left hook, which I was just not amazed by. I was not amazed by. Since when, Jamaican Boxing said, since when did we expect Wilder to outbox Ortiz? All it takes is one. I had Ortiz winning 5-1 before the stoppage. I'm curious to know which round you had Wilder winning in that fight. I didn't expect Wilder to outbox Ortiz, but I didn't expect him to get shut out. And I didn't expect the broadcasters to over and over again insult my intelligence by trying to take my attention away from what Luis Ortiz was winning, from the success of Luis Ortiz and absolutely schooling Deontay Wilder for those first 6.5 rounds, 7 rounds. That's what I didn't expect. I didn't expect bullshit commentary insulting my intelligence while I'm trying to watch a fucking fight. Ridiculous. Come on. John Wick, same outcome. Wilder Chisora get knocked out. That right hand will land. Ortiz looked good tonight. You know what, John Wick? Will he knock Dillian White out with that right hand? Let's put Dillian White in there. Let's find out. I think he's got a better shot of landing it against Eric Chisora. But I think Dillian White might be able to get away from that right hand for a few rounds. Might put a hurting on Deontay Wilder. Why not let him in there? Why not let him fight you? This guy tonight, 50 years old. Took one right hand and dropped. Couldn't get his legs underneath him. Sure, it's a massive right hand. But he's 50 years old. Those legs are gone. You can tell by the way he's prancing and galloping along in the fucking ring that he doesn't have his legs anymore. Luis Ortiz's legs are the legs of an old man. You can tell by the way he moves. Put a young man in there like Dillian White. Or a younger guy in there like a guy younger than Ortiz, like Jarek Chisora. Let's see what happens. Let's see who the best is. Isn't that what we signed up for as fight fans? We want to see the best fight the best. Time and time again, they give us this bullshit. John Wick says Ortiz looked good tonight. He did look good, but he's old. He's old. He's so old. He's so old, and his legs are just not going to be able to take a big shot like that. They're not. Jamaican Boxing. Marco Martinez says, George, Ortiz wasn't dominating. He was winning, but he was only landing a couple punches per round. That's a couple punches more than Deontay Wilder. That's a shutout. That's domination. Winning 5-1 even on Jamaican Boxing's scorecard. Winning 5-1 is domination. On my scorecard, it was 6-0. That's domination. If you land one more punch than your opponent in every single round, and you're winning each of those rounds, you've dominated the fight. Domination. Jamaican Boxing says, coulda, woulda, shoulda. Ortiz was winning until he got knocked out. Sure he was. Absolutely. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just disgusted by the broadcasters. Trying to sell me something that I'm not buying. John Wick, Ortiz was landing nice combos, good timing. You know, and I'm also disappointed by Deontay Wilder's performance tonight. That was one of his worst performances up until that knockout. He did not land that right hand. He did not throw that right hand. He wasn't doing anything. And that was not a strategy not to land the right hand until the 7th round. That's not a strategy. But great knockout. Great knockout. My goodness. John H., thanks for joining the chat, brother. Hit that subscribe button, the bell notification icon. Again, if you guys haven't, hit the subscribe button, the bell notification icon. We do this Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific. We talk about combat sports. And immediately after all the big fights, also we air our own fights. We're the only kickboxing promotion in the entire state of California. The most populous state in the United States. By joining the channel, donating to the Super Chat, getting your Fighters Rep gear, you will be helping us build not only this channel, but the only kickboxing promotion in the state of California. John H. says, Sky Sports commentary wasn't biased. They had Ortiz dominating every round. Absolutely. Because those people out in the UK know what the fuck they're talking about. And we don't know shit over here with these whack-ass broadcasters we got. John Wick. After, I think Tyson Fury will get in his ass. Jason Jones says, Ortiz should fight Dillian White. Question mark? I think Dillian White finishes Ortiz if they fight. Jamaican Boxing, which other heavyweight has better boxing technique than Ortiz? None. Remember, styles make fights. I think Wilder KOs everyone. I disagree. Tyson Fury dominated Wilder. Tyson Fury is a bigger problem because of his height and reach than Ortiz is. And I'd also like to see Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz, Dillian White, Derek Chisora, all these guys. I want to see all these guys in there against Deontay Wilder, not the 60-year-old. John Wick says his left hook was fucking shit. I agree. Garbage. He has a right hand. Somebody's going to learn to block that right hand and walk away with a shutout victory if they ever fight in a non-biased location. Jamaican Box says, Wilder only won round number 2 on my scorecard. The commentary was bullshit, but it's always like that. But my goodness, it's not like that. It's always like that, but it wasn't like that. That was crazy. Jason Jones laughing. Appreciate you being in the chat. Hit that subscribe button. The guy, thank you for joining, brother. He says, dude, you're shitting a lot on a guy who won by fucking knockout. You act like Wilder hasn't been doing this his whole career. You fucking sheep. Well, sheep and then middle finger. He's been doing this his whole career, getting dominated and not winning a single round. Last time I checked, he won a round. You stick your middle finger up at me in my chat like I give a fuck about you. Get the fuck out of here if you don't want to be in this channel. Get the fuck out. You don't have to be here. I'm a sheep. Get the fuck out. Shepherd, get out. Jamaican Boxing. Dillian White is easy work, man. Come on, White gasses after 6 rounds in his fights. Maybe. Luis Ortiz is 50 years old, though. Listen, not impressed. Not impressed by this performance. Not impressed at all by this performance. You got Boxing 5'10". Wow, what a knockout. Yes, big knockout. But the only right hand thrown and landed, that was crazy. That was crazy. I don't know. I'm just not impressed, you guys. I'm not impressed. I'd like to see him win more than 1 round in a fight of this caliber. I mean, that's scary. That's scary to put your money on a guy like this when he gets outboxed in almost every single fight. But like this, getting shut out, to me, he was shut out. And the announcers are telling me that it was strategic. This is fantasy land. This is fucking fantasy land when you're getting shut out and the announcers are telling you it's a strategy. It's amazing. Smart fight, they said. He fought a smart fight. Jason Jones says Wilder crushes Dillian White. Perhaps. Let's see it. Let's see him fight him. If he crushes him, fight him. John Wick, I say let him on, but he on steroids and White will eat that right hand. Casual Code Boxing Club, appreciate you joining the chat. It says Dylan has no wind. He would drown in deep water, perhaps. Perhaps. Guy 1 says Wilder gets outboxed in all his fights, but it doesn't matter because he only needs to be perfect for 2 seconds. That's not true. That's not true. Tyson Fury showed that that's not the case. He landed that right hand and the left hook after it on Tyson Fury and got a gift of his life decision. This guy's going to fight somebody who knows how to box the way Tyson Fury does, and he's going to lose. He's going to lose. And this was not a good performance. He's got to do something different. He's got to be more active. This is not a good strategy. I don't think this is a great strategy. I respect him, but this strategy is poor. God Boxing says we have a new WBA super featherweight champ. I think you're talking about Leo Santa Cruz there, brother. John Wick says if he gets past Fury, I think White will get his shot if Ruiz Jr. loses to Joshua. I think Joshua will beat Ruiz Jr. I do think so. Jamaican Boxing, AJ and Dylan will get KO'd. They can't take that right hand. How do you know? Tyson Fury took it. Tyson Fury took it. How do you know? How do you know it lands? John Wick, I had Ortiz up all 6. I was wondering why Wilder wasn't letting his hands go. Me too. Why isn't this man letting his hands go? Orrin Hickman says, sup everybody. Looks like Wilder was just saving his energy for a knockout in the later rounds. Man, that's a poor strategy though, Orrin. Appreciate you joining the chat. Hit that subscribe button, the bell notification icon. Appreciate you guys being in here. Poor strategy, man. This is poor strategy, you know. I don't know what the hell he was doing in there tonight. He was driving me crazy, man. He was driving me fucking crazy tonight. John H. Wilder gets outboxed by most, if not all, the heavyweights. But which heavyweight can take that right hand from Wilder? I don't think any. Fury took it. David Rivera says that right hand of God is a blessing and a curse. Wilder will continue to look like that until he loses a decision when that punch doesn't land. Jamaican Boxing says Tyson Fury got KO'd. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No way. John Wick says, Hickman, it don't matter what round that right hand hits you, you die. That's true. But it hit Fury and he didn't die, so it's not true. Fury didn't die. Bermain Stavern lasted the first fight. If anybody goes to 12 rounds with this guy who can halfway box, they're going to beat this guy. And that's the scary part about being a Deontay Wilder fan and favoring Deontay Wilder. And then to hear these broadcasters act like it was strategic. Let me get some whiskey. Hold on. Oh, I drank it all. I drank it all. John H. Wilder's left hook was just pawing Ortiz tonight. No venom in it. If they just block that right hand, man. Summer Green. Thank you for joining the chat, brother. Hit that subscribe bell notification icon too. Much appreciated. It says Wilder will unify the division soon. I hope so. I hope so. But I hope he's way more active than he was tonight, man. That was difficult to watch. That was difficult to watch. Logic, thank you for joining, my man. Says, I think Ortiz definitely winning the fight, landing the meaningful punches in the rounds and got clipped Wilder style. Yep. Summer Green says Tyson Fury has no chance. Should stick to wrestling after watching that. Come on, man. Come on, dude. God Boxing 510 says, I can tell by your face you are disappointed, bro. Of course I'm disappointed. I mean the broadcasters were pissing me off. I was pissed off at the broadcasters. And then Wilder's not throwing punches, man. He's just standing there. He's got the biggest right hand in the universe, and the guy is just not throwing the fucking thing until the 7th round, man. Oh my God, you guys, this man is driving me crazy. If I was his coach, I don't know what I'd do, man. I mean, I'd be happy he won, but I'd be like, yo, what's going on? Come on, man. We all know Wilder has zero technique, but at the end of the day, he finds a way to win. That's a gift that not many of us have. Jamaican boxer, you're absolutely right. But what happens if he gets in there with a guy like Fury or someone else that can evade that right hand. He's a sitting duck. And Saba Noor says, in my opinion, Wilder knocks Chisora and White out. Neither of those two has better defense than Ortiz and or Fury easier to hit. There's a million heavyweights he could have fought other than Ortiz tonight, guys. A million of them. 1,000,001. 1,000,001, and we've thrown the names out over and over again on this channel. Till we're blue in the face. Does he hit Usyk with that right hand? Does he hit Andy Ruiz with that right hand? Does he hit AJ with that right hand? I mean, he better. He has to. He has to connect flush with those right hands to fight either one of those three guys. Because if not, he's just going to get outboxed. He's going to get outboxed. He's got to knock his opponent out. And when you have to knock the guy out, it's difficult. He's just not being active. I don't know why he's just not throwing more punches. Massive right hand. That was a massive knockout, man. Ortiz looked like he entered a different... Ortiz looked like he saw the afterlife. That was sick. But, man, that was crazy. That was crazy. Logic says Ortiz beats any other top heavyweight, in my opinion. No way, man. Not with those legs. Not with those legs. D-Boy65, and they call Wilder the new face of boxing, was getting outboxed. He was easily getting outboxed. Logic says Wilder has struggled against skilled boxers like Fury or Ortiz, but hits the equalizer. End of story. Didn't do it against Fury. I mean, he did, but Fury got up and should have been given that decision. Despite the fact that he was out for over 2 years snorting coke or doing whatever the fuck else he was doing. Summer Green says, when will people realize Wilder's lucky punch isn't down to pick anymore? Isn't down to luck anymore. Of course it's not luck, Summer Green. Of course it's not luck. He's trying to throw the punch. He's trying to land the punch, and it's landing in a boxing match. It's not luck. It's not luck. It's just when that is your only way to win, it's terrifying. My heart's beating the entire fucking time waiting on this guy to throw his punches. It drove me crazy today. He drove me nuts today. John Wick, Fury got a gift, 20-second count, 10 count. Bullshit. That's bullshit, John Wick. That's 100% bullshit. I disagree with that 1,000%. Summer Green, Got Boxing 510. The new WBA champ is Rene Alvarado from Nicaragua. Oh, I thought you meant Santa Cruz. Jamaican Boxing, Fury got knocked out. I disagree, Jamaican Boxing. Fury did not get knocked out. Fury got up and won the rest of that round. Logic, the only way I can say it was strategy is seeing as Ortiz is 40 years old and trying to get him out in later rounds. No comment. John Wick, Wilder came in looking like Chinese cartoon character. Summer Green says Ortiz can box. He made light work of him. Oh, man. Logic. 41 other boxers have been KO'd. Yes, Fury took it, but it's very rare. Of the 41 other boxers he fought, how many of them were good or in their prime? Of the 41 other boxers he fought, how many were good or in their prime? Of the 41 other boxers he fought, how many were good or in their prime? 56K Smith, thank you for joining the chat. Says, I believe Deontay will get Fury out of there next time. Perhaps. But he got lucky that last time. And if that right hand doesn't land, he gets shut out 12-0. Logic, Ortiz took the bait thinking Wilder was hurt, opened himself up. Perhaps. That might have been what happened. I just think he didn't block that right hand. I think that right hand just got through. He didn't block it. Jamaican Boxing, they can't block the right hand. Wilder breaks the guard. That was a forehead KO. No Jamaican Boxing. He blocked it earlier on in the fight several times. That right hand got through because he blocked the wrong side of his face. And Wilder cracked him hard. A big, vicious punch to the forehead, which is crazy. I hear what you're saying, but that right hand didn't break the guard. That right hand landed flush. Ortiz had to block the right hand earlier in the fight, but to me, you know, Wilder landed flush. John Wick, Fury died, but the ref let him come back with 20 seconds. Oh, Lord. John Wick, Wilder should get ripped for his performance. If they don't, it will be a bullshit. I'm a fan, but they shit still look like shit, and Wilder trainer needs fired. That was a horrible performance up until that knockout, you guys. That was really bad, man. You know, are you going to come back every fight? I mean, is that the plan? I don't know. Maybe I'm the crazy one. Maybe you guys are right. Maybe something's wrong with me. I'm the crazy one. That I don't want to see a guy come back every fight. You know, I'm uncomfortable with that. Logic. Ortiz was one of the most ducked fighter in the heavyweights. He was 31-0 for a reason. Props to Wilder for facing him twice. Props to Wilder for facing him once. Not the second time. We already knew what was going to happen this second time. We all called it. I called it on this channel. I thought it would end in the first half of the fight. Jamaican Boxing says, who hasn't he hit flush? 42 fights, 41 KOs. He didn't finish Bermain Stavern in their first fight. He didn't finish Fury. I mean, and those are the best guys he's fought. Stavern, Fury, and Ortiz, but Ortiz is geriatric. Ortiz is 50 years old. These are the best guys he's fought. There's a reason the best guys he fought lasted. It's because they were good guys. Stavern, so-so. Stavern was so-so. He's going to fight some good guys eventually. And this is going to be a problem. And Sabah Noor says, I think Usyk has the best chance outside of Fury. Ruiz is fast, but comes in a straight line. AJ has okay head movement, but he isn't very tricky either. Well, I want to see it. I don't want to see a 50-year-old fight Wilder again. David Rivera says, maybe Wilder's strategy is that he has 12 rounds to land one punch, and that's all he needs. Perhaps. Perhaps that's the strategy. You know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just going to wait until I get the opportunity to land one punch. And I'm going to hope it knocks my opponent out. But it's not my favorite strategy. Logic, do you think Fury beats Wilder after his last performances where most thought he had got the decision? I don't know. Fury kind of looked like trash to me in the past couple fights. Not the past couple, the past fight. He didn't look good to me in that last fight. But Wilder's not going to fight Fury the way Otto Berlin fought Fury. So I'd be interested to see what happens. I think Fury's too erratic. I still got Wilder's my best heavyweight. Don't get me wrong. I got Wilder's my best heavyweight. He's number one on my list. Because Fury's so erratic and all over the place. I don't think his head's in the game properly. But I want to see Wilder fight other guys. I don't want to see Ortiz anymore. This is the end with Ortiz, you know? Fuck, man. Oh, let's see what you guys are saying now. John Wick, watch it and count from the time he went down. That was a 10 count, 100%. Ah, John Wick. That's not the way it works, brother. It's the referee that counts. Following the timekeeper, I think it is. Logic says, do you think Fury... Oh, I already read that one. Got Boxing 510. You think AJ will win in the rematch? I do. I think AJ beats Ruiz in the rematch. I've told you guys that. In Saudi Arabia, Eddie Hearn promoting. AJ, if he stays long, he wins that fight. He's got to stay long, though. Don't be on the inside with Andy Ruiz. You get knocked out. John Wick, I was drinking on the official drink of my people, which is Johnny Walker Black Label, brother. I'm about to get a refill right now. About to tell this woman to go get me some more. Hold on. Let me put in that request. Let me put in that request for some more Johnny. Summer Green says Fury got put on canvas 2 times in one fight. Who else has done this? It'll be permanent second fight. Don't see how an active Fury can win. Summer Green, are you saying Wilder won that fight? Come on, man. Come on. Don Tizzle 805 says Wilder wasn't even throwing wild punches. That was a crisp right hand. Give him credit for his technique and discipline improving. Bullshit, Don Tizzle. Bullshit. I'm not giving him credit for nothing, bro. That was a great right hand. I agree. I love that crisp right hand. But you're not getting credit from me if you lost every fucking round leading up to that knockout. You're not getting zero credit. You're getting zero credit from me. Didn't let the right hand go throughout the entire fight. I was sitting here biting my fucking nails down to the skin, waiting for this man to throw his right hand. What was happening, you guys? What the hell was happening? Can someone explain to me what the hell that was? And then while that's happening, the announcers are telling me that Wilder's fighting a smart fight, and Larry Hazard, who fucking, I don't know what, I mean, the guy must have been on a DMT trip. He must have taken that third hit and then decided to start watching the fight. Tells me that Deontay Wilder was winning that fight. Oh my God. Oh my God. Combat sports. Boxing. Boxing, bro. Boxing. Boxing is fucked up. Boxing is fucked up. Don Tizzle. Love your opinion, bro. Thank you anyway. Hit that subscribe, the bell notification icon. I appreciate you guys being in here. Shout out to all of you, man. Look, all opinions are welcome here. All opinions are welcome. But if you're in here to just talk trash and insult people like that other idiot before, you know, you don't have to stay here. I'm not forcing you to stay here. I want you guys here. But I'm not forcing you to stay here. But I want you guys here. I love having you guys here, and I love the contribution. I really do. Logic, based on what you're saying, who do you say is currently the best heavyweight in boxing today? I told you, I got Wilder's the best, but he gave me, my whole point is he gave me a fucking stroke today. Today I had a stroke watching Deontay Wilder fight. That was insane. John Wick says, no, you call it right, brother. I'm being very biased, but man, all I can say is disappointed tonight by Wilder and the announcers. 100%. That was disappointing. That was disappointing, man. KY, what's up? Thank you for joining the chat. Says at some point, we have to stop calling it lucky and stop talking about strategies. Dude is just a unique beast, and I agree with that 100%. But, man, tonight was extremely unique. Extremely unique to the point of desperation. Getting shut out. Getting shut out. Getting shut out. Hit that subscribe button, you guys. Much appreciated. Get your Fighters Rep gear in the link below. You'll help me build the only fucking combat sports, or rather kickboxing promotion in the entire state of California. Help me build this channel where everybody's opinion is welcome. Appreciate you guys being here. This is the only non-biased channel. This is the only channel that doesn't dislike you because of where you're from or what you look like. This is the only one. Or one of the few. One of the few. I don't give a fuck about that stuff. I just care about combat sports. This is what we love. Everybody in here, look at the way these people contribute. Look at you guys. You guys are fucking phenomenal. You know, I might be in the wrong here tonight. Maybe because I'm pissed off because I didn't like what the broadcasters were saying. I thought they were doing Luis Ortiz real dirty tonight. Real dirty. And I thought Deontay Wilder did a shit job tonight. He did a bullshit job tonight. Let's see here. Oh, where are we at now? Logic. Wilder has nowhere else to go but to face Fury, AJ, Ruiz, maybe Dillian. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, he's 40-something fights in. It's time. It's time. This is boxing's fault. This is not Deontay Wilder's fault. This is boxing's fault. They let people get away with this shit, fighting nobodies for 40 fights. Got boxing. Fury versus Wilder 2020. Can't wait. Should be a good one. Let's see if it happens. Fury might go fucking nuts. Let's see. John Wick. I don't want to see either. I want White or Chisora. That'd be badass. Logic. You got to hit that Buchanan's or Chivas Regal. Chivas Regal. Logic, man. I'm always hitting the Chivas, man. And the Crown Royale. I've had Buchanan's. But, you know, the black label is special to my people, brother. That's all I'm going to say. John Wick. Ha. My man, that my fave. Too funny. But they're not sponsoring us, you know. They're not sponsoring us. But it's all right. Because it's a favorite of my people. One day, Johnny's going to hit me up on the phone. He's going to say, hey, bro, what's this kickboxing business you got going on out there in California? And I'm going to say, I'm the only one out here. And look, I got all these people in the channel, smart people, you know, want to support me, want to support my fighters who really matters. You know, I'm just a bullshit guy talking shit on YouTube. You know, Johnny's gonna hit me up one day. By the way, cheers, salute to all of you, much love. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't. I appreciate you guys. And he's gonna say, let me sponsor you, my brother. And I'm gonna say, let's do it, Johnny. You're important to my people, brother. Summer Green says, or rather, John Wick says, hi, my man, that my fave too, dude. You are awesome. I'm drinking the same thing. Salud, John Wick, my brother. Summer Green says, I give him credit as every fight he finds KO. Credit is always due. Hey, you got to give him credit. And Jamaican boxing's right. Wilder said, don't blink. This man is the most exciting heavyweight right now. I agree. I'm excited. But that drove me nuts, man. I was getting pulled. Listen, I'm a promoter, man. I hear those broadcasters talking that shit. I go nuts, you guys. You guys got to forgive me. I go nuts. And then I see Wilder fighting like that. I say, come on, bro. Throw that fucking right hand. Where's the right hand? Throw the right hand. What are you doing? Throw the damn right hand, bro. Throw the right hand. Damn. John Wick says, what technique? What the F you talking about? He just nailed a good counter right hand. You know, I don't even think it was a counter, John. John, I don't even think it was a counter. I think he saw the opening. BAM! Put him to sleep. Vicious power, by the way. On the forehead, you saw. Did you guys see his whole fucking, like, scalp and hair contort in slow motion when that shit landed? I was like, damn, he punched the shit out. His brain inside must have went like this. That shit was crazy. Logic. Think Wilder had respect for Ortiz's power and counterpunching ability, which is why he never threw and waited for his spot. Scary though, man. That's risky. He plays a risky game waiting that long. God Boxing says, yeah, Larry Hazard is smoking some shit. What the hell was he watching? That dude was on a DMT. That guy licked the toad. That guy was licking the toad straight out the desert. David Rivera, my boy. By the way, you guys, I got to give a shout out right now to David Rivera in the chat. You guys see David Rivera in the chat? That's one of the most talented, badass fucking fighters that Fights for Fighters rep. And if that kid keeps his nose to the grindstone, and you guys can go watch his fights on the channel right now, he knocks people out. That guy's vicious. David Rivera keeps his nose to the grindstone and allows me to continue to help him. You guys are going to see that kid in the UFC. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. At least Bellator. At least. But definitely at Fighters Rep and hopefully at the Fighters Rep Pro-Am coming up. Don Tizzle, I just met old Wilder, would have been throwing looping punches all fight. Don Tizzle, at least he would have thrown something. I don't mind looping punches, man. Just throw something, man. Suleiman says, imagine paying for that pay-per-view and then he does the throw up emoji. I agree, man. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. That's a lot of money we spent. Tyron Kelly, thank you for joining the chat, brother. He says, Logic, I agree. I know what you're agreeing with, Tyron. Let me see here. What Logic say? Think Wilder had respect for Ortiz. That waiting for his spot, Tyron, for sure, brother. John Wick, dude, this is the best conversation after fights. Nowhere I'd rather be. Thank you, my man. I appreciate that, John. You know, you're all welcome here. That's why. You're all welcome here. I don't care where you're from, man. Listen, we come here to talk fight. We come here to talk the fight game. By the way, any suggestions you guys have for our promotion, let's have it, man. This is a borderline crowd-funded promotion, so I got something different I'm doing for our next fights on February 28th. I'm going to start running some ideas by you guys. We were doing the Lions Cup for the winning team. We do team versus team. We're the only fight striking promotion that does team versus team, where it's like a team-based performance and you get a point for a win, a point for a knockout, or a point for a first round finish. And you could only participate in the team event if you send more than 2 people. And we've got the best fight camps in the world down here in Southern California. I want you guys can confirm that. You can fact check me on that. But I'm working on something a little different. In the past, winning teams won the Lions Cup. I got something real special for the winning team coming up this next event. And I definitely think you guys are going to like my ideas. But any ideas you guys have for me that you've always wanted to see in a fight promotion or something, let me know. John Wick says, the undercard was the best thing tonight outside of Wilder's right hand. By the way, speaking of the undercard, did you guys see what happened to Deontay Wilder's brother tonight? Deontay Wilder's brother got laid out tonight, man. It was ugly. He got Luis Ortiz tonight. Jamaican boxing, I can see you're a little buzzed like myself. I'm drinking Hennessy on the rock and smoking that Canadian ganja. Cheers, my brother. Bless up, Jamaican boxing. The most generous person in my chat is Jamaican boxing. Bless you, my brother. Logic, UFC. Who do you think wins between Jones and Adesanya if they mix it up? Right now, I got to give it to Jones. But maybe down the line, Adesanya can beat him. I love Adesanya, by the way. I love Adesanya. He can be corny at times, but I love him. Suleiman, weed and brew, crush a bit, a little bit, roll it up, take a hit. Oh, man, you guys are tripping. I stay away from all that stuff, but I do the whiskey. But I encourage you all to enjoy yourselves as much as you want. John Wick, you ain't the only one, and I'm a huge Wilder fan. He looked like shit. You know, Wilder is, I've said it before, the best heavyweight, and my favorite heavyweight along with Dillian White. But man, tonight, I was going crazy tonight. I was like, what is this man doing? Where is this right hand? What are you doing? You're driving me crazy, my man. Oh, my God. You're driving me crazy. Man. Logic says, what do you think of the Figueroa fight? Do you think Ceja coming in 4 pounds over helped Ceja? Of course. Of course that helps. That always helps. And that's some cheating bullshit, and I hate that shit. John Wick, I'm still waiting for Domo 5K to email me. I want his money. You got him. John, hey, I bet you never see that guy in this chat again. I hope he comes back. Let's see what he has to say, but he's probably staying off of here. Hey, if you guys haven't, hit that like button. Show me some love, man. Hit that like button, the subscribe button. Feel free to donate to the super chat. It's much appreciated. The money gets invested back into the fight promotion anyway. I gotta buy, medals and pay for insurance and pay the fucking ambulance. You guys know? Do you guys know that the county of Orange County down here in Southern California, makes me go through them to get paramedics? Do you know how much a county charges for paramedics? I'm just gonna let you guys take a guess. It's insane. John Wick says, salute to you, my brother. Thank you, man. Jamaican Boxer says, that's what he did and almost lost to Fury. Wilder days. Hey, you look, you aim, then you fire. Got Boxing 510 says, yeah, where's Domo? LOL. Yeah, he doesn't want to come back and have to pay John Wick his money. Logic says, it's come to be expected that boxing commentary is swayed by the promotion. They're getting paid to give positive on promotion's fighters. No more unbiased commentary. That's sad. That's sad. That's sad. These people put their lives on the line to fight. And it's sad. John Wick says, ha ha. Jamaican Boxer says, David Rivera, come see me if you want to let Wilder. Oh, shit. Jamaican Boxer, David can kick too, my man. He can kick too. So unless you got your kicking game or your kicking defense real tight, you might want to stay away from him. Also, his jiu-jitsu looks pretty nasty too. And his wrestling. So, yeah. Got Boxer says, I hope to see him in the MMA world, bro. Look, David Rivera says, thank you. I appreciate you, George. Listen, David Rivera. Nobody appreciates you more than me. Remember that. I'm the only one that can get you a fight in this state. These guys flake on you all the time, but and they flaked on you on my cards too. Okay, we got to be honest, but I've gotten you more fights than anybody, I think. And quality fights too, and you've performed. Ryan Howard says, fighters rep needs to come to New Mexico. I fight out of Perez Fighting Systems in Belen, New Mexico. Much love to you, brother. Keep up the good work. Oscar Moeller is a good friend of mine out of Team Victor. I love Oscar. Thank you for joining the chat, Ryan. Much respect to you, brother. Maybe one day we go out to New Mexico. At this time, I'm trying to build what is essentially a dead or dying sport in the state of California. As you can see, I'm the only pro kickboxing promotion out here. The only exclusively kickboxing promotion, period, even when we were just doing amateur fights. And I think it's the most action-packed rule set. It's all striking. There's no grappling. There's no holding. There's no breaks. It's just go, go, go. Stand and bang. So, if you ever want to fight out here, reach out. Reach out to me on Instagram. If you reach out to Fighters Rep Instagram page or Facebook or wherever, it'll get to me. And, come to a show. Come check it out. Suleiman says, I'm an amateur fight club member myself. Nice. Oh shit, I broke rule number 1. Just received a text, no longer a member. You're silly, Suleiman. That's going to fly over so many people's heads, by the way, Suleiman. John Wick says he got destroyed. He shouldn't box. Not sure who you're talking about there, John Wick. Let's see. You got boxing. Says ain't nothing with smoking some ganja, bro. LOL. Jamaican Boxer says, on a serious note, though, Dillian White should seriously find his B sample. I want to know. What happened to that B sample. I want to know, bro. What happened to that B sample? But either way, I'm a Dillian White fan. And if he fights, I'm going to watch. I'm going to watch 100%. Every interview he has, I'm going to watch. That dude is hilarious to me. And just keeps it 100 all the freaking time. I like that guy. D-Boy 65 says 1,200? Question mark? I don't know what you're talking. D-Boy, are you talking about the bet they had? I'm not even sure what you're talking about right now. Suleiman says Jamaican Boxing. It's not up to Dillian White to release his B sample. That's Yukata job. Yukata's been pretty stringent too. They're the one, aren't they the ones that kind of drove Tyson Fury nuts with his with his wild boar situation? That was hilarious, man. That was hilarious. John Wick says if everybody here hit the like. Oh, hit the like, peeps, for George. Appreciate you guys if you hit that like button. Also, that subscribe button if you haven't. Got boxing, you have to ask Mr. Eddie Hearn. Oh, John Wick is saying Waters' brother shouldn't box. You know, Waters' brother lost to a guy that was 2-1-2, I think they said. But in his 2 victories, he had 2 knockouts. And he switched to southpaw. He was, once in a while throughout the fight, I was watching, he would go back and forth. He switched to southpaw. And he kind of like came in with a... Yeah, he switched to southpaw. He came in with a jab. And then he was kind of drifting off to the right and threw like a short left hand. Hit Marcellus Wilder right on the mouth. And Wilder went back and his head snapped off the canvas. And he looked laid out. And then he got back up to stand up again. But too little too late. Too little too late for Marcellus Wilder. And I'm glad the referee stopped the fight, because when the guy gets hit like that and put out and then his head snaps off the canvas, if they let him fight more and take more damage, I think that's extremely dangerous. And unfortunately, I think that's, the thing that it reminds me of is Patrick Day. And the way, unfortunately, he passed away when his head, he got hit and then his head slammed on the canvas. I think they need to do something to maybe make those canvases to where guys' heads don't bounce so hard off those things. I don't know. Maybe something needs to be done there. But, it's boxing. You're going to get hit. At some point, you're probably going to get knocked out. Should he box anymore? I don't know. I mean, people have been knocked out and come back, He's definitely going to have to make some changes, reevaluate what he's doing. I thought his strategy was a little bit weird. He was fighting short. He leaned to the right a lot. So I felt like he was prone to that left hand, But, we'll see. He was winning that fight before he got knocked out. He actually was boxing better than his brother does before he got knocked out. So, I don't know, man. John Wick says, UCAD lost the sample. That's funny. Got Boxing 510 says, who do you think wins the match between Harrison and Charlo? That's a tough one. I thought Harrison won that first fight, man. I thought the commentary in that fight was so biased against Harrison that it was disgusting, you guys. It was disgusting how biased against Harrison that first fight was. And he won, and I thought he deserved to win. I think in the rematch, we see the same thing. I think Harrison wins again, although Charlo does have a chance to go in there and win the fight. I mean, he's kind of a bull in a china shop. He comes forward and he might be able to knock Harrison out, who's, Harrison's been dropped before. But I'm going with Harrison on this one. Also, I'm a huge Harrison fan, especially, after him getting that win and after that last press conference. I mean, Harrison is so far in Jermell Charlo's head, you guys. I mean, I've never seen anybody be more inside of somebody's head and make someone look so ridiculous the way Harrison did to Charlo, man. It's a sight to behold, and if you guys haven't watched that last press conference, I definitely recommend it. I definitely recommend you guys check it out. So, for everybody watching on the replay, please like, comment, share, subscribe, do everything that the nice people on YouTube do. And to everybody in the chat, man, hey, thank you guys so much for joining. I appreciate you guys. It's going on an hour, so I'm going to duck out of here. For some reason, now I'm hungry at almost 11 p.m. I know I shouldn't eat right now, but I'm hungry, man. I'm hungry. Always fucking hungry, man. Is this like a guy thing, or Is it just a me thing? I got a big ass head, so I always need to put food in it. I don't know what's going on. But I'm hungry. Appreciate you guys so much. Again, we'll be on here. We might come on tomorrow, do a little anxiety Sunday. You know, sometimes we do anxiety Sundays, but for sure, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm going to try to get Stacey McKinley on the show this week. I'm going to try to get Raging on the show this week. We're going to talk to them, get some more interviews done. Got boxing. I had Jack in the Box yesterday. That shit was incredible, my man. I always got to get the 2 tacos on the side. Do you guys ever eat Jack in the Box? And if you do you have to get the 2 tacos on the side? I always got to get the 2 tacos on the side. Let me know. But thank you guys for joining the chat. Appreciate all your opinions. They're great as usual. And until the next time, keep it clean, knuckleheads. Much love to you guys.